Okay, looks good to go.
Looks good. All right.
Yes.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Weeknights with Wonder Girls. I am Cheryl, and here I have
Mabel,
Mabel.
hi.
Uh, we need to have a little bit of 默契 again, huh?
Yeah,
So
that's
this
right.
this evening, I'm going to share a self-guided cycling experience that I embarked on in Europe in 2018. So before I start, if you are finding that the auto caption is somehow getting in your way as you watch our video, so here's how you can switch it off, right? So first you need to tap onto the screen, then tap again onto the gear icon, and it will open up some functions as you see on the third image here, and you can toggle between on and off of the caption. So if you switch it off, you are not going to see the auto caption again for the rest of the live webinar.
Mm.
So today we are going to talk about cycling in Europe, right? A lot of the guided cycling itineraries and even self-guided itineraries are designed along this whole European cycle route network that is known as Eurovelo. So this Eurovelo cycle route network comprises of 17 routes totaling over 90,000 kilometers of cycling courses connecting and uniting the whole European continent. So not only they are used by guided and self-guided cycling tourists, they are also used by many Europeans to make their daily journeys. Right. So, what is exactly a self guided cycling holidays? In a nutshell, it means you are a guide of your own. Right? So, when you are on a self guided cycling holiday, you are not limited by the constraints of group travel. You are free to shorten or fast track your ride as the route permits. And if on certain days that you don't feel like cycling, you can make use of the public transport or book a private transfer to get you to the next accommodation of the day. So in short, a self-guided cycling holidays offer you flexibility. You can go on your own time, own target. And if it feels like that days of cycling is not enough, you are free to extend your ride and go on detours. So a typical self-guided cycling holiday will include your accommodations, daily breakfast, and sometimes dinners. You don't have to cycle with your luggage or with your baggage, your barang-barang, right? Your suitcase or your baggage will be taken care of by dedicated luggage transfers. And then you will also be given a very detailed document pack, which will include route notes, maps, in two versions. One, the digital version, as well as a printed version. Then on some of the destinations or some of the countries, we can even provide you the GPS offline route marking. So it's something like a map that you can download into your mobile phone, but you don't need to have internet connectivity. You are still able to use the map for navigation, right? Then, of course, we will also provide you bicycle on rental basis. And then last but not least, you will also be given an emergency support hotline in the event that you need some assistance. Right. So now I'm going to share with you about my own cycling experience on a self-guided basis while I embarked on this journey in 2018 in Switzerland. Part of this journey brings me along Eurovelo Route 17, which is also known as the Rhone cycle route. Okay. First of all, very importantly, you need your equipment. Otherwise, this won't be a cycling holiday. So we will often provide a hybrid bicycle, which is suitable for most cyclists and on all terrains that you will encounter on the vacations. And then they will come with a straight handlebar, as you can see on the image here. And very often, we will also provide you a pannier bag, which will be included with some simple tools that you may need along the way. And it is also for you to put your personal belongings and your valuables that you need each day during the cycling journey. So as one who doesn't like to carry a haversack when I cycle, I will also bring along my own cycling pouch, as you can see in the image here, and then dress it up on the bicycle so that I can put a lot of stuff. You know, you need to put your camera, you need to put your uh additional, what is that? What do we call that? Oh, power bank, and then a lot of
Mm.
stuff. And as a lady, we need our tissue papers, we need our wet wipes, dry wipes, whatever, a lot of stuff. So I need a lot of compartments to keep my things so that my body will go light, and then I will be able to sustain and enjoy my rides even better and longer. And then for those who wants to try some of the difficult rides or doesn't want to tire yourself out, we strongly encourage you to go for the e-bike. Okay. So your bicycle will be equipped with a motor or a battery like this, as you seen on the image. But this e-bike will still need a little bit of movement. It's not the e-scooter. Huh? It means that you still need to pedal and then the motor will move. And then in this way, a lot of time when you are going up slopes, it will be effortlessly. I guarantee you. Then you may ask me, so how are the routes like? What can we be expecting when we are on a self-guided holidays like this, or when we are cycling across Europe? A lot of time, the pathways that you are going on will be tarmac paved. And when you are in the big cities, a lot of the cities will also have dedicated bike path, as you've seen in this image. Then when you get into the countryside, some of the routes will be on hard gravel path. And often you have a little bit of nature trails here and there. But as you can see from the pictures, it's not too difficult or too technical. It's relatively flat. It's just that it's not tarmac paved. Right. And then across the entire network of Eurovelo cycle route, it is very well signposted. Whenever there is an intersection, whether it is a cross junction, a T junctions, or there are some navigations away from the main path, you will often see a lot of signposting like this. And the signposting will also indicate the route number, right? This will ensure that you won't be going on the wrong way. And then sometimes you will see that the signposting will also tells you that it is suitable for other activities. Like in this instance, the route that is heading just behind me will be suitable for rollerbladers. Then some of the signages will also tells you how far away you are to your next destination. And you will also find some of the small villages names onto the signages to give you an indications, like if possible, you may want to make a break, like a morning tea break, a lunch break in 10 kilometers time before you head to your destination, which is another 42 kilometers away. And on all the signages, you will see the route number, right? Like in this instance here, this route number 1 refers to Swiss route number 1, and it is part of this Eurovelo route number 17. So with a lot of all these extra informations provided, complement the detailed map I have printed as well as digital version, it's quite difficult to get lost. Okay, I also must confess that I am not someone who is very good with orientation. Okay, so if I have managed to survive to cycle alone in Switzerland or in Europe for 7 days, I guess everybody else will be able to do as good as me or even better. Right. So other than that, most of the time it will be flat route or straight route like this, without any rooms or error of going off course. Even when you get into the city, there are also a lot of signages, such as this one, as I seen in the heart of Lausanne. The next one, this is in Lucerne, right? You'll see a signages telling you all the different routes going to different places. together along with their route number tag to ensure that nobody is going the wrong way. So this is the main trunk route for a lot of the cycling routes to get out of the city of Lucerne. As you can see, there are a lot of bicycles in Lucerne, and this picture was taken in 2018. So I'm sure now there are even more bicycles as the entire Europe continent has strongly promoted the way to go on bicycles during these 2 years during the COVID pandemic. A lot of the infrastructures has also been upgraded. More countries has come in to pledge their dedication to develop even more routes. So earlier on, during the introductions about what a self-guided cycling holiday is about, I mentioned about you can actually do fast track. And so here I'm going to share with you what are some of the ways you can fast track. And one of it is definitely by taking the train through the extensive rail network in Switzerland as well in all over Europe. So all you need to do is to look for the carriage or the train cabins that has a bicycle logo on the door or on the window. And then as you board the train with your bicycle, you will often find rack just next to the door for you to hook up your bicycles, to leave it there, and then you can proceed to the passenger seats and enjoy the journey. And in Switzerland, some of the trains have even a dedicated cabin just for bicycles. They have converted about like three three quarters of the entire cabin just for bicycles as well as cyclists. So as a cyclist, you can just easily sit across where your bicycle is hanged and then enjoy the journey until your next destination. And then you can even go on the bus. Like what I'm doing over here, I actually thought that I would want to fast track by taking the train. But when I arrived at the village, I found out that there is no train to get me to my destination village. So what I have to do is to take a bus. And then what I was surprised is the bus driver don't even bat an eyelid when I told him that I have a bicycle. And then I realized that this is very common in Switzerland or even in Europe. See, so this is what I have experienced on my self-guided cycling tour while I was in Switzerland. And then we also would like to include a little bit of variations for you when you're on a cycling vacation so that you don't feel so bored that you're cycling every day all the time. So on some of the intermediate grade as well as the advanced grade um, cycling itinerary, sometimes you will see that you are required to take the cable car to go up to the hill or halfway through the mountains. Like this is what I do on my itinerary. I have to go up to half the mountains before I do a descent. So I can bring my bicycle into the cable car, which will lift me up to the mountains. And then for those who are going for a mountain biking itineraries, you will have to change into a gondola at the mid station. And this is what will happen is that your bicycle will be hooked up just outside the gondola where these two stars that are indicated there, that are like dedicated racks that you can hang your bicycle on there. And then you board on the gondola and go up to the top of the mountain. And this is what I see when I did a mini hike on one of the Swiss mountains, is that all these mountain bikers are getting ready for their thrilling descent ride. And then on my journey, when I was going up to the Lavat vineyard, I will have to take a funicular to go up to the top of the hill edge before I descend down to Lausanne. Right? So I have some of cyclist mates who are with me on the funiculars, and then we will just have to squeeze a little bit so that everybody get to go up onto the funicular. Then on some of the beginners rides, especially those that are covering a lot of lakes, you will have an opportunity to bring your bicycle on board the ferry like this to get across the lake to continue your cycling journey. So you may ask me, since I'm alone, am I bored? Well, I wouldn't say that I'm bored because 70% of the time I'm very occupied with the entire journeys. I get to visit a lot of cities. I got to road past towns. I also get to visit some very quaint villages. And a lot of these villages are actually populated, but you hardly see any villages around. And then as I was cycling past the countryside, bypassing someone's courtyard, I see a lot of fruit trees, like this one, an apple tree. And I got so fascinated that I actually stopped there for quite a while to take picture, much to the amusement of some of the villagers when they saw me taking pictures, talking to myself to the phone because I was doing recording. Yeah. So while I thought that I was kept entertained with the apple tree, I was actually also entertaining the villagers. Then as I was riding past the countryside, I came across this vineyard. It was not fenced up, it was not gated, and I could just walk in freely as if that I owned this vineyard. And I was there just wondering whether should I walk further in, and I realized there wasn't anybody around. So I just walk in very quietly and enjoy myself taking photos, touching the grapes. So someone was asking me, I think it's Angeline, she was asking me, did I pluck the grapes? Okay, to be honest, I really don't dare to because I don't know, maybe just as I was trying to be naughty, someone may just pop out somewhere from the farm and I'm just going to get caught. And I was to tell you, the Swiss police will not be able to tolerate nonsense if I'm really going to do that, right? Then also I came across a lot of turquoise lakes. I also come across some of the occasional villages along the way. And most of the time, I would say that 90% of the time, I hardly see any people as I was riding until I get to the village or into the towns or into the city. Then I start to see more people. But a lot of time when I was in the countryside, I hardly see anybody. There's no traffic light, the pathway is clear and I can go on and on for 10, 15 kilometers without the need to stop if I doesn't feel like stopping, right? Just as I was riding past this little boy here, he was out here riding on his pet horse and playing on his phone. I think he was playing computer games and I can hear some music, some like those games music coming out from it. And then here I was, this girl panting away onto my iron horse. That's quite a contrast. Sometimes I wish, hey, if I have someone behind me, I think that photo came out will be quite hilarious. So we also earlier mentioned that you could do a detour. So on one of the days, I did a detour to Martini because I want to go and see the famous Saint Bernard dog. So all in all, I did about in and out about a 6 kilometers detour, and here I am with the dog. Then again, along the way, if I feel like I need to talk to someone, I will often talk to a lot of cattle that I came across. I will stop by and talk to the cows. I will entertain the goats. And sometimes I have little lambs that entertain me. And while I was cycling on a self-guided trips like this, one advantages I realized is that I could stop anytime I want to take a lot of photos. And I don't have to worry about photo bombers because there are hardly any people around here. And mind you, this trip was taken place in the month of September, which is often the traditional super peak season, whether it's for cycling or for hiking in Europe. So when I was telling our operators that I will want to go on this self-guided cycling trip in September, he will say, oh, well, you should quickly book now because that was our super peak season. Then I get very worried. Oh, no, peak season? Am I going to come across a lot of cyclists or come across a lot of tourists? And to my surprise, once I head out into the countryside, I don't get to see anybody. I can do a lot of crazy photo sliding, not worrying that people will be like chasing me away or laughing at me. I can do a lot of Instagrammable shots like this for as long as I want, not worrying that I'm going to lose my group mates, right? And then I can sit at the Lavat vineyard for as long as I can, admiring um, the vineyard as well as the majestic Lake Geneva just right in front of me. Good. So if you ask me, will I do it again? Yes, of course, I will do it again. Whether is it on my own, a solo moment, a me time moment on my own, or I may just grab a buddy or some of my friends to make a small groups so that we can have some chit chatting and some crazy moments together. Or I can even probably form a small groups like with my kakis, and then all of us can go together. So then you will be able to spread some of the responsibilities of a self-guided holidays along among everybody else and not taking everything on your own, right? So if you are interested in this itinerary that I have cycled, we have it on our website and it's called the Ride with the Sun, Wine and Swiss Culture. So to be honest, why I choose this itinerary because I was sucked in to the trip name. You have the sun, you have the wine, you have the Swiss culture, meaning that you probably have a lot of food. Yeah. So if you are interested and want to take a good look at this itinerary in depth, you can put in your request or drop us a comment onto our Facebook Live, or you can even drop us a message on our contact details as you've seen on the screen here, and then we will send you the direct link to this itinerary. Okay. And then in 2022, under our Wonder collection, we will be launching 2 self-guided cycling experience in the month of April and May. But these 2 trips will come with a little bit of perks, meaning that one of us, either Mabel or myself, will be going on this trip to share with you some of the tips on how a self-guided cycling holiday is about. And as I was planning this trip together with Mabel, we are pretty sure that if you're going to come with us on these 2 trips, right, by the second or third day, you're going to abandon us. You're not going to follow us or cycle with us. Because once you get the hang of how is it like, you are really going to enjoy the experience. Right. So this is the one that we are going to Switzerland, to Lake Constance and Rhine Falls. It's an 8 day trip with 6 days of cycling. And this departure is earmarked for 26th of May up to 2nd of June. So this trip is now already open for booking. So if you're interested to take a look at this itinerary, tell us in the Facebook Live comment or send us a message onto the numbers as you've seen on the screen, and then we will give you the direct link to the itinerary. We have chosen this itinerary that is suitable for beginners as well as for anyone of any higher grade if you want to, because on these itineraries, right, you have an option to fast track or you have the option to go even longer. So it's up to you. And then if you think that maybe this is my first trip going overseas to cycle, then you are probably worried because you'll be cycling all the time. Then we will suggest you to take an e-bike, upgrade and take an e-bike. Then I can guarantee you, you will not have any issues with the cycling, even though we are going for consecutive cyclings for 6 days. The next one, which is still work in progress, is coming real soon. If you want to take a look at the itinerary, we can send you the itinerary. The trip price is still work in progress. We will be heading to Italy in late April. This is also an 8 day trip that will take place on 28th of April up to 5th of May. So we are going to visit 3 of the most famous Italian cities that probably everybody knows. That the tour is going to start in Venice, and we're going to cycle to Pisa, and the journey will end in Florence. wonderful, fantastic itinerary, visiting some of the highlights along the way, and get into the off the beaten tracks of the Tuscany region that not many people will probably has seen or been to. And we are going to do all this on this Italian self-guided cycling journeys. Right. And then we're almost coming to the end of our presentation. Our next Weeknights with Wonder Girls will take place on the 8th of December at 8:30. So if you would like to catch up with us again, we will keep you posted on what topic we are going to touch on. So last but not least here, thank you very much for listening to me. I hope I have ingested a little bit of inspiration and probably a bit of motivation to get you to start um, your next overseas cycling holiday again and possibly with us. So now, if you have any questions, I will be very happy to answer anything that you have. So handing over back to Mabel, I will stop sharing the PowerPoint slides.
Okay, thank you so much, Cheryl. When I was looking through your PowerPoint, it's like so envious, I really want to go on the same itinerary that you went through because it's like the cycling route and everything. There's a variation, there's a lot of variety, not only just
Mm.
gravel, not just tarmac road, and then the scenery, not only just cities, there's also the countryside, and you get to see a lot of the farm animals as well as the wild animals, plus all the fresh fruits literally straight from the tree kind. So it's
Yes,
like when I look at it, I was like, wow, I really want to go now as well.
I know,
It's like
right?
you're living the tree. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
mean, I also
I I,
couldn't
I
couldn't wait to go back.
what I really like, right, is like when you show about the signages around Switzerland, because I think sometimes one of our worry is when we go overseas whether we can understand the signage,
Mm,
because of the language barrier and all that. But what I notice is the from the signages that you take, it's all very well posted, not only in terms of the name, if we can understand, but also the numbers. So
mm.
even if you really do not understand the name, right, just by looking at the number, at least you know that okay, I'm on the right track. You know,
Yes,
so
that's
it's
right.
very looks like it's really very hard for us to get lost unless we really deliberately want to get lost
Yes,
along the
unless you
way.
deliberately want to get lost, you know. Otherwise, I mean, also because thanks to technology, you are given like the digital route map. Then if you want, you can even switch on like your Google Maps to help you to be like double confirm. So a lot of times, right, I will be toggling between like the route maps. Then I will look at the
Mm,
physical map again just to make sure. Then I will also look at the signages. So with a lot of these aids, right, I am quite certain
yes.
that I won't lost my way. And then whenever I come to any intersections, right, okay, then I will be alert to take
Mm,
a look. Oh, okay, am I going the right way? Double check again. Then everything okay, I'm sure already. Then I proceed. That's all. But once I'm heading straight, right, I literally switch off. I don't have to worry about cars. I don't have to worry about like thinking my bell just to ask people that bicycle is coming. I mean, I can just cycling, enjoy the breeze, enjoy the headwind, look at the animals, look at the nature, look at the rivers, the lakes, the pretty lakes. And then I literally just switch off and have a good time for 10, 20 kilometers. Yeah.
yeah. And what you say, you travel in the peak of the outdoor seasons in
Yes.
Switzerland in September. Yet as you
Yes.
cycle, you hardly see anybody around. It's not like
Mm.
what we all imagine. It'll be super crowded everywhere we go.
Yes. Yes.
So you still get to enjoy all the beautiful nature scenery on your own. But I think occasionally there will still be cyclists on that cycling past you, right? Or are you
There will be.
like sometimes do you feel uh okay, so you will occasionally meet your fellow like-minded cyclists along the way, which you can say hi to them. So you won't
Yes.
feel like you're totally alone out there on your own.
Yeah. Yeah, you will still
So
see occasional cyclists, but not in big groups of them. And then as you
mm,
approach closer to the village or even the town, then you start to get to see a lot of people. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it will be the occasional villagers here and there sitting outside.
Mm.
I look at them, I say, wow, they really know how to enjoy life. They're like sitting at their courtyard, enjoying the afternoon sun, or otherwise it's like
Yeah.
just like the villagers. On his left hand, he was
Mm.
walking the dog, and then on his right hand, he was walking the horse at the same time. I mean, like, wow,
Oh,
how they really know how to
very
enjoy their
interesting.
life.
Okay. So I saw there's a question here by Natalie. Maybe I just show it
Mm,
up for everybody. She's
okay.
asking what do we mean by e-bike
Ah, e-bike
for the
is
trip?
powered pedal. Okay, it meaning that you are able to cycle more effortlessly, especially when going up slope. You will feel like you are not using any much energy to push yourself up the slope. So basically, once you switch on the motor, you just have to continue pedal, keep moving your legs, and you realize that you just go up steadily. Okay,
Mm.
and no need to worry. Sometimes when we are not so good in going up slope, or our physical body or our legs are not so listening to us, right? What we'll do is we'll start to very hard. You start to pedal very hard, and then a lot of time we'll be looking down, looking down onto
Yes.
the pavement. Yeah, but with an e-bike, all this will not happen. You still can cycle, body straight up, head high up, looking up, going up the slope, keep pedaling, and don't have to worry at all. Yeah, that's the beauty of
Yeah.
e-bike. Yes,
It helps to take away some of the strain you have,
yes,
when you are climbing up hills and all that. But you still have to cycle.
yes.
It will not bring you up if you are stationary. It's just
You
to
you you
help
won't
you,
move
as
if
you
you are
said.
stationary. Yeah. So a
Yes.
lot of times, some of the beginner cyclists, right, they may want to try because the intermediate routes or even the advanced route, because if you really want to see alpine mountains, go up to the mountains, high up to the mountains to see really those kind of view as you see in the video at the beginning when I started, right? Those kind of view are usually at 2000 above sea level, and those are usually the intermediate or the advanced route. But a lot of beginner cyclists say that I wouldn't dare to take those kind of itineraries because I don't have the energy or the effort to do it. Then we'll suggest to them that then take an e-bike. Or if you're going with your group of friends, some of them may be very good cyclists, but you are not. But it's okay, you still can join them. You take an e-bike. And maybe a lot of time you will be probably ahead of them when climbing the slopes.
Yeah,
You
that's
probably
true.
can go ahead of them, this dismount your bicycle and take a lot of photos of them.
Yeah, yeah, you'll be their dedicated
Yeah.
photographer.
Yes. Yeah.
Chris was saying that, wow, I would like to meet this e-bike one day.
Yeah. In a lot of our trips now, uh most of I would say all our European self-guided trips or even maybe the guided trips, you have the options to upgrade to an e-bike. And then even on our Taiwan itineraries, we are also going
Mm,
to introduce these e-bike upgrades. So even if some of you may want to bring your the other half to come along, or some of your friends who come along who are not very good cyclists or as good as you, they can still come along and join you on holiday. All they need is to rent an e-bike.
that's
Yeah.
right. So Cheryl, I was just curious that because this trip, right, the Swiss cycling is actually your very first self-guided trip.
Yes.
So before booking this trip, what were some of the worries you had, before going on this trip? Lah? And then when you're actually on the trip, you realize that you actually overthink too much, worry too much. It's not as bad as what you thought it would be.
Exactly. Exactly. Because when when I wanted to embark on this trip that time, first of all, our dear Swiss fairy tale, oh, welcome. That's our super peak season. Then I worry already. Shit, peak season. That means there's going to be a lot of cyclists, a lot of people. So first worry, people,
Mm,
traffic. Then second worry is self-guided Europe. I mean, like we hear a lot of stories about sometimes Europe not being a very safe place if you are not careful. Yeah, so that is another
mm-hmm,
worry that I have. And then third, I'm
mm.
never good with orientation. No, I always cannot like find a way. When I look at map, I have to turn the map to find the right direction, which way we go. I'm that bad with that. So when that is some of the fear I have when I start on this trip. But then I tell myself, hey, heck lah, if I'm not going to try it when I'm going to do it. since the opportunity is here,
True.
everything fall into place, 天时地利人和 everything fall into place, then just go for it. Then when I'm already
Mm.
there, the bicycle comes along, then I have the tools. Then I was looking at my friend, I was saying, why do you give me all these tools? I also don't know how to use it. Then he said, it's okay. Just have the tools with you because along the way, if you need help, someone may know how to use it. All
That's
right, so I have the
true.
tools.
Yeah.
I have the tools. I bring my own barang-barang. What I need for the day, I just put it into the pannier bag or my own small pouches. Then my big luggage every morning, just leave it at the reception and someone will come and pick it up.
Mm.
Then off I go. So some days I start, I mean, ideally is to start at 8. Okay, when the sun is already
Okay.
up there, it's bright enough, a lot more people are out there, more activities or more action is out there, then you start your day. Because generally I always give myself, I must finish my ride latest by 4 o'clock. By 4 o'clock I must reach my
Okay.
next destination, or maybe latest by 5, depending on the difficulty or how long I stop along the way. I stop a lot of time, take
Mm.
photo just to do the heavy. I don't know stop how many times. Like, Joanna, I'm not that good actually. I stop a lot of time into a few seconds because the wind is really too strong. Okay, the wind is really too
Mm.
strong. I spend a lot of time doing a lot of photos, take photo, admire the apple tree, talk to the cows, entertain the lamb. So I will always watch our time, but by 5 o'clock, I must always reach a new destination. Only 1 or 2 days I started at about 9 o'clock or 9:30 because all of Mabel's fault. No, she was asking me, hey, how did I do? No, because when it's 9 o'clock, my time is about 3 o'clock afternoon in Singapore. So she will always check with me, hey, how are you? How's your ride yesterday? How is
Mm.
it? So I get carried away talking to her at breakfast room, right? Then I miss my time. I said, okay, yeah, I'm not going to talk to you already. I have to go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember you say that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is how I start my day. So there is no right or wrong time what you to start.
Mm.
Some of the very strong cyclists may even want to start at 10. They want to wake up later and start at 10 because they probably can go fast, or that day's routes is much easier or shorter, 30 kilometers, 40
Mm.
kilometers only, and then they can easily do it in a couple of hours. Yeah, but usually I don't do that because I
Okay.
don't know what to expect on the route. And I know myself, if I come across something that is so interesting, I want to stop, take photo, I want to do picnics. I rode by some of
Mm.
the village, then there is like a mini supermarket. I will just buy my stuff. Then as I ride, I come across the lake. I just stop by, enjoy food here and there, admire the scenery, some quiet moments on my own. Then before I carry on the journey. Mm.
That's very nice. When you say about picnic by the lake and all that, because that is like the kind of images that I always see on the internet, right? And then imagining that I'm there doing that, like so nice, they are really enjoying life. And then there you are saying that you are doing exactly the same thing on this trip, at your own time, own target. You don't need to
Yes,
rush through.
yes.
Yeah. So usually when you cycle, right, what's the average pace that you keep during your ride?
Um, I didn't really gauge, but I think I'm probably cycling at about 18 kilometers per hour.
Mm,
Of course, on some of
okay.
the routes that are very straight, no, we're talking really, really straight routes that you see
Mm.
endless, don't know where you are going. Then I tend to pedal faster because I got bored with all the fruit orchards for a while. Then I just go faster at
Yeah.
about 20 to 22 until I come across another interesting thing. Then I will just slow down the pace again. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the
Mm,
thing because sometimes when we cycle, if like what you say, if you see straight ahead, it's about the same scenery, right? Initially,
mm,
you'll be very fascinated. Then after that, you're like, okay, you know what? I want to fast track already. I don't want to keep with
yes.
the same pace. Then you just
Yeah.
straight away go and fast track, and then go for the next adventure that awaits you ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a nice thing. And then 18 kilometer per hour is really a very comfortable pace. Where you
Mm,
can admire your scenery as you cycle, and then you don't need to worry about catching up to other people or waiting for people if you are a faster cyclist because you're just doing it
yes.
at your own pace that you're happy with.
Yes. Yes. And along the
Mm.
route, there are a lot of surprises along the way. Like I mentioned that one of the highlight I took up this itinerary is because of the Lavat Vineyard, no? Is the UNESCO heritage site,
Yeah.
where the vineyard actually perched on a very steep cliff. So at first I
Mm.
thought that I thought the funicular will bring me right to the top of the like hilltop, and then it will be descent. But who knows? I still have to climb a little bit of descent. And then as I was climbing, I was there, like, I mean, like, of course, like cursing myself, like, why do I choose this itinerary? What's so great about this vineyard that I want to go, you know? It's like, am I there yet? How long more do I have to go there? I was like, okay, literally, I was doing this because I was on the normal bicycle. But as I came
Mm.
to the top of the cliff, and then it just wide open right in front of me, Lake Geneva just appear right in front of me. Wow, I was telling myself, whatever I do just earlier on is all worth it.
Yeah, the
I
picture
tell
you take
myself,
is so nice.
I tell myself, no wonder to this ride is only 32 kilometer. Okay. You know what? But I
Yeah, so
get
now
into
you
Lucerne.
know.
Yeah, but I get into Lucerne fairly early. By the time I reach Lucerne, it's only about 2 o'clock. So I have an entire
Oh,
whole day in Lucerne. I get into the hotel. I change. Then I still visit to do a walking tour around the city of Lausanne on my own. Mm,
oh, that's nice. Then at the same
yeah.
time, if you want to, if you want to do some shopping, you can also do because ultimately your luggage will be transported to the next destination, right? You don't need to bring it along with you for the ride. So if you
Yes.
go, you reach certain towns earlier and you see some local shops that you really want to buy some souvenir or that, right? You don't need to deny yourself that I cannot buy because I'll be cycling. You
Hmm.
can still buy whatever you want to buy, just buy. You can pack it into your luggage, you pack it in, and then it will be taken care of for you. So at least
Yes.
when you go in small little towns along the way, you can buy for those local souvenirs, either for yourself or your family and friends back home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because once you start cycling, you realize that you will remove a lot of gears and stuff from your luggage. So your luggage is actually quite empty. And then it's always like what you
Mm.
say, lah. Until the last day, then I stress because end of ride already, ma, I have to pack everything. Then I realize too much food stuff or things. I have a hard time packing my luggage. I mean, that is not so important in my own personal opinion. So I will think of a way how to bring them back. But I mean, like what
Yeah.
Mabel has suggested is really exactly what we do, what I do.
Mm. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I think who Chris is very inspired. I think she would love to. She mentioned, to be honest, I would love to go for a solo trip. And Angeline
Mm.
is edging her on, say it can be very
Mhm.
therapeutic.
It is.
Ah,
It's very therapeutic. You have a lot of me time, no? Maybe that's the moment where you have no distraction. Then you do a lot of thinking and probably a lot of reflection. Think about your life. Think about everything. Yeah, it's very
mm,
therapeutic.
yeah, that's
And
true.
and you realize that when you are alone, right, you are very open up to talk to people. And when people look at us, right, they were like, "Oh, hi, you're cycling," especially like girls. Then they're like, "Oh, hi, how's your cycling today? Where did you come from?" Yeah, and then a lot of time they always thought
Mm.
I'm a uni student. Okay, it's a compliment. uh, you find that
Make you
you
feel
really
even
open up and talk
happier.
to a lot of people. Yeah, make me even happier. Talk more to them, you know. Yeah, they will share a lot of like they will also share a lot of tips or whatsoever. They say, oh, okay, this is the first time here. Okay, I must tell you, here go here for food. Okay, this one you must go visit
Mm.
here, you must go visit there. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true. And also because you'll be cycling through a lot of the small areas where maybe they don't see tourists as much. So
Mm,
occasionally when they do see, right, they'll be very warm and welcoming and excited to show you all the little treasures around their small town. I think that's
yes,
the one of the beauty of going on this kind of self-guided trips, right? Where you
yes.
really go into smaller towns that not a lot of tourists know about. Yeah. So and then when you're by yourself or with your small group of friends, they're also very open to welcoming you to their neighborhood, to show you
Definitely.
around. Mm.
Yeah, definitely. They are always very welcoming, and then they also embrace the whole cycling culture, I must say. And this is so
Mm.
prevalent in Europe, especially today after the pandemic. Even now, if you go to some of the European cities, right, they are even encouraging or even giving subsidies to companies who are buying cargo bikes. That means you do
Oh.
delivery on bicycles, especially,
Mm.
like places like Florence, into some of the smaller villages, like into Holland and some other places where big vehicles or trucks are not able to get in. So they are encouraging people to, if you buy a cargo bike, to do delivery
Mm.
as part of your business, right? Then the designated European government will give you a rebate. It's a little bit like our Singaporean government way, like you adopt something and then we give you a rebate in the business like that. Yeah,
So they are very
yeah,
encouraging of this green movement,
yes,
getting everybody to go on two wheels.
yes,
Because one thing also, their infrastructure is already there. It's very
mm,
well built. Yeah. So since it's already there, don't waste it. You can use it for leisure, you can use it for business, for all any sorts of things that you like, cycling,
mm,
some hiking as
mm,
well. If you want to run also can. Yeah.
mm. Like there was this photo I showed about city of Lucerne where there is a lot
Mm-hmm.
of bicycles. One, where is it? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to put it up uh
All
one more
right.
time. Okay, I'm going to share the screen.
Okay.
Okay, here it is. This photo, this is in the
Mm.
city of Lucerne. I go back
Yes.
to Switzerland quite often because it's one of my favorite destination. So every time when I go back, I will tends to go back to some of the uh cities here and there. So this photo was taken in 2018. There are a lot of bicycle and I see all these infrastructure coming up. Previous trip was I think in 2016 or 2016. All these things actually didn't happen. So it takes them only 2 years to come up with all
Wow,
this
just
thing.
just two
You
years
see
and they
all the
can come up with
bicycles,
all this. Wow,
all this
okay.
on the path, dedicated path. Then now I'm sure if we go back again, in a lot of the European city, we're going to see so much more of this. So much more. It's really on the roads or probably in the cities, right? It's cyclists first. Or probably pedestrian
Hmm.
first, cyclist second. Then comes the motor vehicles. Yeah.
Very
I'm going
impressive.
to stop
Yeah.
share. Yes. Yeah, so I can't wait. I really can't wait to go back to see all the changes because at this present moment, right, we are just reading all the changes, what the Europeans are doing on paper in the Eurovelo
Mm-hmm.
network. So I
Yes,
really
that's
want to
right.
go back and see myself. Mm.
Okay,
Italy,
let's see whether we have any other
anyone?
questions by.
Italy and Switzerland. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And if you are embarking on your first self-guided holiday, whether within among your small group of friends or on your own, feel free to check with us. We have a lot of different packages of different grades for different skills level of cyclists. And we can also give you some good advice on which itinerary are more suitable for first timer and especially are going away for the first time. Yeah, and then for a head starts now, if you are really considering a trip like this, Switzerland is definitely one of the first choice you should consider because their cycling community, the network, everything is very mature, even pre-COVID pandemic time. Yeah, so it is one of the probably you can say more of the safety net destination to go for if you're embarking on a
Mm.
self-guided cycling trip. Yeah.
Yeah, and usually once you start already, and then you get past your initial worries, hesitation, and all that, right? Then you realize that probably you overthink it too much already. Yeah,
Yes.
because
Yes.
when you go on this self-guided, one of the good thing is most of the planning is already done for you. In terms of where to go, what route should you cycle to bring you to
Mm,
the next destination. You're not on your own. Technically, it seems like you're on your own, but everything is already pre-planned for you in advance. And then if you really, really need assistance along the way and you cannot find help, there's always the emergency hotline that you can contact. And it's
yes.
24 hours. There will always be someone there who assists you. If you really need them to come down, you just let them know in really emergency, they will send someone down to also assist you along the way. Yeah.
Mm,
So it
mm,
is technically it seems like you're on your own, but actually there's a lot of invisible hands around to help you along the way as you
yeah.
as you cycle.
And we will also check in with you as and when, you know, while
Yes,
you
that's
are
right.
you are over in Europe, right? Here we are back in
Mm.
home in Singapore. We will also check in with you once in a while. I mean, of course, you may not wonder that. because we are selling the trips. Of course, we have to say everything like it's so good. Of course, I have my downside also as being like a solo cyclist at times. First of
Mm-hmm.
all, initially I mentioned I'm not a very good in orienteering. I do get a little bit like lost in some part, but because thank goodness I have a lot of aids, the digital map,
Mm.
the printed map, the signboard, I am able to discover I have actually went off course very soon, maybe only
Ah,
few hundred meters only. Then I realized, oh, okay, I think I'm a little bit off course. Then you look at your digital map, your line already go off the designated route, right? You know you're off course. Then I said, okay, go back to where I stopped, then look at it again. Yeah, only one or
yeah,
two
that's
times.
right.
Yes, only
Mm.
one or two times like that. And then also like during some very long straight journeys, you got nobody to talk to. It's the
Ah,
only time.
okay.
I know, sometimes we would like to complain, you would like to maybe talk to the person. So boring, so straight, nothing to talk to, nothing to see, Mm. So
Ah,
it's like sometimes you have a little bit of happy moment you want to share, you have no one to share to. But I mean, it just I just got distracted very quickly also. So here are some of the downside if you're going solo on your own. Yeah. And what else?
that's right.
What else? Okay. At certain of the cities, because cities mean cities is huge. I'm there for the first time. So I do get lost here and there. But I mean the people are friendly. Like in Switzerland, most of
Mm.
them can speak English. So I'll
Yes.
just ask them. Yeah, and then they will tell me, okay, hit this way or hit that way. Yeah. So they are pretty helpful.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
Actually, one thing is like because you are self-guided on your own, it also encourage you to open up and ask for help whenever you
Mm.
need it. At least you
Mm.
know that you're not always reliant on just one person, like the guide to always bring you around. Anything you follow blindly without even
Mm.
knowing where you're going, this and that. Because in a way, when you're on self-guided, you're also more aware of your surroundings, of the
Mm.
places that you are going to and you're cycling through. So it also brings back a deeper impression of the places that you actually been to for compared to like if you are just following a guided holiday, right, where you really let loose and then
Mm.
totally don't need to remember where you're going, and sometimes at the end of the trip you need to refer back to the itinerary, where did I went because I cannot remember already, I just follow only.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that is probably the one of the stark differences between guided and self-guided. Okay, guided
Mm,
is good definitely because you are being guided, so you can switch off and just follow and cycle. But that will also means that a lot of time you probably miss some of the things along the way because you're just literally following. But when you are self-guided, you will tend to like open up your eyes more. Then you will see probably you'll see more things, and then you may
mm,
trample into something that caught you by
true.
surprise. And these are all
Mm,
interesting little discovery on your own. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then you open
Mm.
up more, you talk to the locals, so you're interacting with the people around you rather than just the guide, as compared to a guided trip lah, most of the time.
Yes. Yes. Priscilla say we must make sure our power bank is fully charged. Yes, that's what I do. Um, every night I will make sure my power bank, my phone is all fully charged.
Mm,
Because I want to go with a full power bank. Even all my cameras, action cameras, whatever I need to use, it will all be fully charged and I will not use it for the night. So that the next morning when I set off, right, everything is in full power mode. Yeah, that's one thing is very
yes, that's
important.
right.
Mm,
Mm.
mm,
But we also have the printed version, so in case the digital really died on you, you can refer to the physical map
You can also refer to the
along the
physical map.
way.
So it depends on which one is more you're more savvy with.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see if you have any other questions.
Who say? Maybe can meet Hyunbin. Oh yes, I must say.
Actually,
Hey, okay, that's something she strike my mind. Hey, I must tell you, all the really good European cyclists, oh my God, no matter how ugly looking they are, they all look good and cool when they are in their gear with their equipment. Yes.
Ah,
Yeah, so that is another eye candy that motivate me to cycle faster to catch up with them, because you can hear them coming, zoom, zoom, zoom. They, oh, wow, when they pass you, wow, you also want to cycle faster. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably another motivation, Angeline. Yeah.
2022, Angeline, maybe you can join us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about all.
Okay, shall I just show the video one more time so that everybody, those who join in late, you can have a look at Cheryl's past experience back from
Mm.
uh 2018. Okay, let me add.
Finally, my time here for some great cycling in
Yeah,
Switzerland.
this was like 2000.
Right now, I'm at super fast,
2018, yeah.
2,400 meters above sea.
Oh, 2000 meters, yes.
Okay. So this was just a descent that I did. Then there was a glacier. I made a stop in the glacier. This itinerary is a little bit specially tailor-made because I want to see much more variation. Yeah. I always get very excited when I hear the tong 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 because I know some cactus are already nearby.
I love all these traditional Swiss houses.
Yeah. And this one, I take the cable car up to the mid mountain.
Mm.
Mm. Then we do a mini walk along Aletsch Glacier. So it was pretty bad. It will be magnificent when it's winter. I do a little walk to the Blue Lake on top of the mountain.
That's nice. Stretch your legs a little bit.
Yes, and that's where I met the mountain biker who are
Ah,
starting their journey to do their descent.
okay.
So a lot of time when I was looking at the cattle, I was wondering whether am I entertaining them or they are entertaining me. So the water from the river actually flows down from Aletsch Glacier.
Mm.
So sometimes when people tell you, oh, we're going to cycle into the valleys, the roads are very flat. Don't be too happy when you hear the word flat because this is from my own personal experience. Because when there is valley, it means there's a lot of crosswind and headwind.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's valleys. So that is how the wind all comes around. So not only I have
see.
headwind, I also have crosswind.
Apple tree. I've never seen an apple tree before.
Yeah,
So
I've
I was
never
so
seen an apple tree
fascinated,
before.
I have to stop here and share this with you. I have to stop for this. Look what's behind me.
So
There's
chill.
just like a string, just a string to border them
Yeah,
up. So I don't dare to walk too near. I also don't dare to talk too loud because I don't know will I excite them and then they start all come running after me. I don't know where to go. Yeah. This was really very tranquil. It was into it was like cutting across two villages to get to the next one. So I didn't really Yeah, this is the headwind day. So along my cycling days, right, I didn't really specifically stop for lunch,
Mm.
except only two
Okay.
occasions. Yeah.
Yes, today is going to be our next scenic yet tough ride.
Yeah. So I will always load up a lot of snacks. So I stop as and when I like. There's only two times I really make a stop to sit down to eat because the cafe and the pastry is just too delicious not to stop for.
Too tempting
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, too tempting already. Then here it is. I said, okay, I tell myself I must stop. The very famous Chillon Castle along Lake Geneva. So if time permits, you can actually stop by and then visit the castle. Yeah, it's a paid admission, so you can always easily buy the admission tickets and go in. But I didn't do that because I spent too much time earlier on taking photograph.
Day of cycling,
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
riding
Mm.
along Lake
So I'm
Geneva,
happy with just taking with the exterior, good enough.
going up to Levat, the
Yeah,
nearest
going up to Lebat.
scenic
Yeah.
site of Terrace Vineyard.
I was a little bit disappointed when I started the day being very cloudy. So I was telling myself, oh no, I'm not going to have beautiful pictures up in the Lavat vineyard. But luckily the weather's
Mm.
opened up. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah. This was
view.
like, wow. Yeah, that was coming out from the funicular. Then, wow. Then it was like, when I there, I was like climbing all the time
Yeah,
until
wow,
this view,
wow.
boom,
And I'm going to
come right
head
in
to it
front of me.
now.
I also act smart, because I want to go down and take a look. I went down, I turned out, then I tell myself, what have I done? Going down is fun. I zoom all the way down, get so close to the lake, to the
Ah.
vineyard. Then coming back up again, I was like, oh gosh. Okay, I pushed my bike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I pushed my bike. Yeah, then after that, it's all the way downhill, all the way into the city of Lausanne. This is the known as the sports city, is where the
Mm.
Olympic headquarter is located. Mm.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah. So that's
okay.
about it all. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, Fiona is online now.
Fiona, I miss watching traveling, watching this. Yeah. So if you have any more questions, if you would like to ask us, feel free to put in the comments or drop us a text. Yeah, and then we are happy
Mm.
to share with you and discuss with you along the way. Yeah.
Yes,
So
that's right.
just keep in mind two trips, self-guided trips together with one of us in Europe in the month of April, late April, as well as in the late May, Switzerland or Italy.
Yes.
Yep.
Both my favorite country in Europe.
So which one you want to choose? Difficult to choose, right? I tell you,
So
it's so
difficult.
difficult to choose. Yeah, as I was
It's
like
like
planning
choosing between
the
your left hand and right hand.
yeah. And we haven't even talked about Germany, the Bavarian Lakes. Wow, that's so pretty. Holland,
Yeah.
Holland, the flowers.
Ah, yeah. So many
uh,
places to go.
so many places to go. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, do we have any more, please?
Okay. So funny,
And
Fiona. Are
France.
you
Yes,
guys hiring?
France.
Oh yes, France.
Yes,
That's right.
France. Oh yeah, France. Probably we just sidetrack a bit, although we know today is about cycling. We have three itinerary. It's self-guided hiking trip in
Mm.
France. And I tell you, probably, as I was planning, I was telling Mabel, these are all my dream trips, combining outdoor activities with wine. So I don't know, am I going to burn more energy or am I going to put on more calories? Because you're literally hiking from one vineyard to another vineyard. And then you can do
Mm.
wine tasting also. Ooh, Burgundy, Bordeaux, wow.
When Cheryl was planning
Oh,
the itinerary, she kept telling me, "I want to go this. I want to go that. I'll be
and
drinking
it
all
all
the
has to do
way." I
with
was like, "Yeah,
wine.
that's true." Yes, correct.
Yeah. Fiona is asking, are you girls hiring bicycle porters? I volunteer. Ah,
Okay, if we
ah,
ever need a bicycle porter, Fiona, we will look for you. Okay, you are our go-to person, number one on the
yes.
list.
Yeah. So if we have no more questions, we hope you enjoyed this evening with us. Yeah, and then our
That's
next
right.
Weeknights with Wonder Girls will happen on 8th of December, and we'll be putting
Yes.
up what destination we are going to talk about in the meantime.
Yes.
Hmm.
So once we know what destination we'll be featuring, we update you via our e-newsletter as well as our Facebook. So remember to follow us there. And then if you have any questions, just drop us a text. Yeah.
Mm,
Or just
yes.
comment here and then we'll get back to you.
Yeah, and if you want to watch this entire presentation one more time again, because you may just happen to come in midway, this video will be available on playback after it has ended. And if
Mm.
you want to have a link to watch it or share with somebody who doesn't have a Facebook account, feel free to let us know and we will provide the link for you.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, then I think that's it from us for today. Thank you so much for joining us once again. And then we will look forward to seeing you on the 8th December.
Yes. If you see
Hope you
us on
enjoy
any
tonight's
of the
session.
Singapore trail or cycling route, please say hi to us.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
If you can recognize us behind our mask, that is.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good
It's
night. Bye
nice seeing you
bye.
girl, everyone again. Bye bye.